In this video, we will explore some of the most powerful civilizations in history and how they achieved their greatness. We will also discuss some of the challenges and threats that they faced and how they eventually declined or collapsed. We will focus on ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, and the Mongol Empire. Ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt was one of the longest-lasting civilizations in history, spanning over 3,000 years from around 3100 BCE to 332 BCE. It was centered around the Nile River, which provided fertile land, irrigation, transportation, and trade. The Egyptians developed a complex and sophisticated culture that produced monumental architecture, art, literature, religion, and science. They also had a centralized and stable government that was ruled by divine kings called pharaohs. Some of the achievements of ancient Egypt include building the pyramids, which are among the largest and oldest structures in the world. Inventing hieroglyphs, a system of writing that used symbols to represent words and sounds. Developing mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and engineering. Creating a calendar that divided the year into 12 months and 365 days. Establishing trade and diplomatic relations with other civilizations in Africa, Asia, and Europe. Some of the challenges and threats that ancient Egypt faced include periods of political instability and civil war that divided the country into rival kingdoms. Foreign invasions and occupations by the Hyksos, the Assyrians, the Persians, and the Greeks. Environmental changes such as droughts, floods, famines, and epidemics. Social unrest and rebellions by the lower classes and slaves. Ancient Rome. Ancient Rome was one of the most influential civilizations in history, dominating most of Europe, North Africa, and parts of Asia from around 753 BCE to 476 CE. It started as a small city-state on the banks of the Tiber River and expanded through conquest, colonization, and assimilation. The Romans developed a complex and sophisticated culture that produced monumental architecture, art, literature, law, politics, and religion. They also had a powerful and efficient military that was organized into professional legions. Some of the achievements of ancient Rome include building the Colosseum, which was the largest amphitheater in the world and could seat up to 50,000 spectators. Inventing concrete, which was used to construct roads, bridges, aqueducts, baths, temples, and palaces. Developing Latin, a language that influenced many modern languages such as English, French, Spanish, and Italian. Creating a republic that was governed by elected officials and a senate that represented different social classes. Establishing a legal system that was based on principles such as equality before the law, justice for all citizens, and innocence until proven guilty. Some of the challenges and threats that ancient Rome faced include periods of political corruption and civil war that weakened the republic and led to the rise of dictators such as Julius Caesar and Augustus. External invasions and migrations by various peoples such as the Gauls, the Germans, the Huns, and the Vandals. Economic decline and inflation that reduced the living standards and increased poverty and crime. Social decay and moral decadence that eroded the values and traditions of Roman culture. Religious conflicts and persecutions that divided the population and threatened the authority of the state. The Mongol Empire. The Mongol Empire was one of the largest empires in history, covering most of Asia and parts of Europe and Africa from around 1206 CE to 1368 CE. It was founded by Genghis Khan, who united the nomadic tribes of Mongolia and led them in a series of conquests that spanned from China to Russia. The Mongols were known for their fierce and ruthless warfare, but also their tolerance and adaptation of different cultures and religions. They had a sophisticated system of administration, communication, and trade that facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies. Some of the achievements of the Mongol Empire include creating the largest contiguous land empire in history, which stretched from Korea to Hungary. Establishing the Pax Mongolica, a period of peace and stability that fostered trade and cultural diffusion along the Silk Road. Promoting religious freedom and diversity among their subjects, who practiced various faiths such as Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, and shamanism. Developing a postal system that used relay stations and messengers to deliver letters and news across the empire. Introducing innovations such as gunpowder, paper money, and the compass to Europe and the Middle East. Some of the challenges and threats that the Mongol Empire faced include succession disputes and civil wars that divided the empire into four khanates: the Yuan dynasty in China, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia, and the Golden Horde in Russia. Resistance and rebellions by various peoples such as the Chinese, the Mamluks, the Russians, and the Vietnamese. Climate changes such as droughts, famines, and plagues that reduced the population and the resources of the empire. Cultural assimilation and loss of identity that weakened the cohesion and the loyalty of the Mongols. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more interesting content like this.